Hello folks, hopefully you can hear me and everything. And this Centre for Disease Control and Prevention isn't in mirror, like sometimes it goes into mirror mode. So I'm just looking on this site now. This is the YouTube channel for the Centre of Disease stuff in America. So I would have thought that they would have everything live, all updated, current, and like actual happening things you can do, how to stop it, you know, wash all your house down, keep your clothes clean, and how to sterilize stuff. And there's nothing like that. It's dead weird. Anyway, that's me sort of little, not gripe, but the point of this video is to sort of suggest that the measures that are being taken here for this COVID thing, they don't match a reality where there would be these type of excessive measures, like in my understanding of what, like I was in Beijing during the SARS epidemic, and they shut Beijing down straight away, and the whole thing was gone within 2 weeks all over China, because China just got shut down. Everyone got sent home. Everyone was told to clean everything, and that's what you done, and that got rid of it. So in this process, what we're seeing, it's a completely different setup, has been for over a year and a half, since Epstein killed himself, since Dershowitz was implicated in the Epstein case, since Trump was implicated, since Prince Andrew wouldn't hand himself in to the FBI for questioning. Now, the FBI is saying that they like him to come in or whatever, and they have gone for special warrants and everything. But if anyone remembers, back in, it was about 5 years ago, I think, Kim.com, who was living in New Zealand, was raided by the FBI because he had Mega.com, which was the file share site. So they were, he won that case, and he's a billionaire. So what level? You think, oh well, billionaires, and Prince Andrew's not a billionaire. I don't even think he's on the civil list. So he must have some information that's worth more than what a billionaire knows, because they were trying to get Kim.com, obviously, for information on the server, on all the servers. But he said, well, you'd have to be some sort of mad intellect to know everything, what's on all the servers. And he doesn't check everything because it's just file shares. It's not his property, which is why he won. So the FBI will raid outside of America, is the point. And now they changed. I don't know if it's, maybe it was under the racketeering. I've never seen the charge sheet, to be honest. It was like, apparently, Ghislaine Maxwell was in court yesterday, yesterday, and the judge has refused that she can extract more from the deposition that she gave in 2016, because that deposition was part of a prior case, this, that, and the other. And the judge has said no. But normally, in like, none of it's reported on YouTube. Normally, American court cases, big cases, even small cases, they're all televised live. What's going on here? This one seems to be more ran like a British one, where they've got the sketch artist in, and that's showing you the sort of the person who's on trial or whatever. So there are many things not ringing true, and it's weird how everything's going on, but it does involve London. Like, he had a flat in London, didn't he? And they were recruiting girls in London. So the part about the 2015, the racketeering, the RICO Act, drafted by President Nixon, which has only had several cases, and I don't think any of them have been big cases, really, for the size of the RICO Act. That stands for racketeering and incorporated crime offences, something like that. So it used to encompass everything, and this is what I'm saying about the Kim.com raid in New Zealand is that I think they may have used the RICO Act on that for their jurisdiction, because it allows Americans jurisdiction to anywhere, or it did until 2015, and they changed it. So I didn't know, but I looked it up, and what they've changed it to is that it must involve an American citizen. So apparently Ghislaine's got about like 5, 6, or God knows how many passports, being a good Israeli, like. That's tends to what they do. She's got a British one, an American one, I think she's got a French one, an Israeli one. She could have any one, you know what I mean? She's just like she is a proper international crime lord. And now she's saying, oh, she was finding it increasingly difficult to work with Jeffrey Epstein. Well, excuse me, you're providing children to what appears to be, what is touted as being the world's elite, which they're about as far away from elite as you can get. So how you're providing them with children? How much more difficult do you expect that job to be? Like, check your job description on your contract that you signed with these people. You're getting everything you deserve, although she probably won't, because it's getting dragged out longer and longer. Why aren't they having a fast, intensive trial where she's brought to bear? The witnesses are there, the victims are there, the depositions now getting challenged. Well, these things, she's even being held on without bail, and obviously Epstein. In fact, that's another thing about Janet and Epstein. Those cases, these people, Maxwell, I guess, her father, these people are claiming that they've died, because that's what, no one's seen the bodies, have they? And therefore, right, you would have a posthumous court case, wouldn't you? They can't participate, but they've, like with Epstein, he's willingly left, hasn't he? He's willingly left. So there's a maxim in law: he who leaves the battlefield loses. That's a maxim in law. If you're on the battlefield and all the other army runs away or kills themselves or whatever, they've lost. So that is admittance of victory to the other team. Well, Epstein was held in custody and killed himself, allegedly, and now that's what it is, isn't it? It's a victory to the other team. So therefore, that should be used as a witness statement against Ghislaine as well. Ghislaine, or whatever her name is, Julaine. So the other thing is, I've just found Trump is wishing her well, because they lived in Palm Springs in Florida together, which apparently he didn't know. So yeah, from COVID to relationships on the Epstein case, which people are asking, well, what other big names are there? Because the list has come out and there's some really big names. And yeah, well, it's supposed to be putting the terrors up, all the big wigs, isn't it? So where are the British Army, who are supposed to be representing the Crown? Where are the SAS? Where are the SBS? Why aren't they going in and dragging Prince Andrew out by a headlock? He's ruining the reputation, or the so-called reputation, of the what were they called? The India companies, the Dutch East India Company, the London Company. I think people in the military need to have a serious word with themselves about who they perceive who it is that they're actually here to protect, because they're not protecting our shores. I'm on England, not protecting my shores. We're being overrun in all sorts of ways, financially, economically. It won't even get into the physical side of it. That's just like the intangible aspects, like where everyone's equity is being stolen, and no one's being allowed to prosper and thrive and enjoy the life and liberty that that we're promised by the Constitution. Like nothing's being upheld. It's all where are the military? When do the military come in these affairs to sort this out? It's been over is it a year and a half or something now, and there's no end in sight. And all you get out of them is, oh, it's going to be for ages. They're really stuck. The needle's really stuck on that thread on the record. How do they know it's going to be for ages? What gives them the God-given right to determine that the choice has already been made, that it's going to go on for ages? Most people are healthy, fit and healthy, and yet they're bringing everyone under the COVID rules without giving a fair view of what the COVID rules are. And people should be reading up on the COVID rules. The exemptions says that, if it negatively affects you wearing a mask, then you're exempt. That's what it says on the website, on the government.uk website. So people need to be more assertive as well. And the ones doing the bidding, I challenged a couple of lads and, I wasn't getting at them. I was just asking them, had they read the guidelines? And, they were very defensive in how they were approaching an answer. So it turns out, of course, they haven't read the guidelines. They said they're going to, and they wished me well when I left because I got to my stop. I was on the train, which, I'm not paying no monies to travel on the train to get any extra insurance. I've got all the insurance I need. So they don't ask for tickets, but they did ask me, can I put a mask on? I said, well, I'm exempt. So they say, okay. And this is the thing about people who don't know that they're exempt. Like, if you're not wearing a mask, you say you're exempt. And they've been told that, that's it. You don't pursue the matter any further, and there's no... you can get the cards. I've got the cards as a cover on my phone because you can download that from the government website as well. I mean, this is where nationalism sort of gets skewed, isn't it? Our nation's government has been usurped, but only to the point of where, well, look at the place. I mean, is it being ran how you want it to be ran? Where's your say? Stand up and have your say. Make your thoughts known. Bloody hell.